When I look at my life, I see hurt. A vivid picture of the devil's work. My present life wasn't rehearsed. Was I born blessed or was I born cursed? These fools got me on a red alert. They eyes gleaming like the devil's pet, and doing what it takes to make me step back. Falling from my every dream. Seems that those around me on the same team. I wonder, was it all planned, Lord? Try to make me understand. I can't fall in the devil's plan. I hope it's leading to the promised land. For walking through the shadow, every step I take, I'm seeing demons waiting, barking like a dog on gate.
Raw Talk. Sip coffee and talk that real shit. Enjoy.
People want to know how I feel about the whole, Eddie Long situation, about him being skinny and sick and, shit like that. I know I'm a little late on the subject, but, I try to stay away from, church news, because I was so heavy into the church. But, that's a topic that I gotta, talk about, because, back in the day, I used to do gospel rap, all right? Let me tell you the whole story real quick. Was signed to the Winans. I was on tour with Fred Hammond, met a lot of people, did a lot of things, basically lived a rock star life just on some gospel shit. And, I got a chance to be around all them preachers and, a lot of, big time people in the mega churches and things of that nature. So to make a long story short, Eddie Long, back in the day when I used to rap about that shit, about gay niggas in the church and, playing with little boys and all that stuff way back then, we talking like 1998, 1999, 2000, I used to go in on that shit. Everybody used to tell me to shut my mouth, don't talk about that. You're going to lose fans. There's a lot of gay people in the gospel industry. You shouldn't do that. And I'm like, what happened to Jesus? What happened to church? What happened to what the whole point of us doing this for? Paul said, clean up your house. If your house is a mess. There's just too much going on. So now, this nigga dying of AIDS and he want to say he got cancer. Let me tell you something. That's some bullshit. Eddie Long got fucking AIDS. Them guys that came out on him talking about what he did to them when they were younger, what he did to them, he done that to probably 30 or 40 little boys. And who I feel bad for, that don't nobody really talk about, is his wife. Now, I don't feel bad for her because I understand that she went back to him, but I feel bad for her because I don't think she was expecting all this to happen, and I don't think she knew it was as bad as he made it. But I have no respect for him as a man of God. I don't have respect for him as a man. And what's really sad and what people don't understand, especially in the African American church, it's a lot of that going on. Not some of that going on. It's a lot of that going on because I witnessed it firsthand. I witnessed it firsthand. These niggas is gay. All them gospel niggas is gay. I done said this shit over and over again. The niggas that ain't gay, they fucking around on their wife. It's just all fucked up as far as what they represent. Okay? It's just fucked up. So, I think it's sad. I think that nigga the devil. I think he preying on, the innocence of young kids. And I don't have any respect for anybody that preys on the innocence of the young. I can't have any mercy on that person. So him dying of AIDS and doing all this shit and getting skinny and looking nasty to the motherfucker, he deserved that. I hate to say that, but that's his death penalty to me from God. Say what you want to say, judge me, whatever. But I have a problem with that. Listen, I don't want to make this clear because you always got to apologize to homosexuals. I'm not saying nothing against, homosexuals at all. I'm not. But the little boy part is what I have a problem with. If you want to fuck a man and you a man, that's your fucking business. But the little boy shit, I'm not cool with that shit. I know some gay people that's not down with that shit, and that shit is not cool. So let me make that fucking clear. Okay? What you do is your business. But when you prey on the innocence of children, I have a fucking problem with that. That shit is whack as fuck. And anybody that condone that shit is a bitch. That's how I feel about it. Fuck Eddie Long. Fuck that nigga. And fuck everybody that want to keep following that hoe ass, bitch ass nigga. Because that's what he is. I can't stand niggas like you. You the devil in the flesh. Fucked up is, we used to hear about this nigga all the time doing gay shit. All the time backstage. When I used to be backstage with all them big time gospel artists and preachers, it was like they only talked amongst each other, and you had to be in the clique, and they assumed because I was back there with them that I was like in the clique, so they would talk about this type shit. I done heard about all these motherfucking niggas being gay in the motherfucker. And what's so fucked up is a lot of them got wives, they got kids and shit like that. We knew Eddie Long was a motherfucking fag. They was talking about Eddie Long being a fag and being on some pedophilia shit way back in the day, like in 2000, 2001, I heard about that shit. That's some new shit that y'all, when y'all hear about these celebrities and preachers doing shit, y'all gotta understand that this has been an ongoing thing. It didn't just happen then. They have been doing that shit. That's why I don't have no motherfucking mercy for them. We've been heard about that. When I used to tour with Fred Hammond, and, you know, chop it up with the Winans, that's all the niggas used to talk about is shit like that. That's all they used to talk about is the bullshit that goes on with these gay ass niggas in the motherfucking church. And then you get mad at me for talking about the shit. And, you know, publicly and shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's other people being hurt. You can't put on a facade like you're helping people, but backstage you're hurting people. I'm not gonna tolerate that shit. I'm gonna say something. And that's the problem with these fucking preachers, man. On the outside, all these people following these preachers and stuff like that, it looks like they're doing such a tremendous job. You feel what I'm saying? But on the inside, in the inner circle, they're hurting people. They're taking advantage of people. They're playing psychological games. I understand everybody can do what they want to do, but you can play psychological games. I never judge a man by their actions. I always judge a man by their intent. You understand what I'm saying? So you might say, well, grown people can do what they want to do. You know, if they want to be manipulated, they stupid. Well, not really, because I want to judge you on your intent. What is the preacher intent for trying to manipulate a motherfucker? You feel what I'm saying? That's what I'm not gonna follow a motherfucker like that. Fuck that. Manipulating ass nigga. That's some devil shit. You trying to manipulate a motherfucker. That's devil shit. And I ain't cool with that shit. That shit is whack as fuck. So that's why I ain't got no respect for none of them niggas as a man.
Alright, Gennaro, so when you on your various tours and backstage passes and stuff like that, when you were interacting with other artists and you say they were talking about the certain situations such as Eddie Long being a pedophile, were they agreeing, or were they like, how did they feel about everything?
That's crazy, because they would just, like, some of them would talk about it and like it's a secret to everybody else. They wouldn't agree with it. And let me get this straight too. Nobody, you know, came out and told me like, oh, Eddie Long a pedophile. But they did come out and say, well, you know, he gay, he homosexual. You feel me? That's what they would say. They would point out the gay niggas to me, like, that nigga's gay. You know, because I go backstage, man, and I used to be excited to meet these motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? You know, Hezekiah Walker and, you know, Donnie McClurkin and, you know what I'm saying, CeCe Winans, you know what I'm saying, Kirk Franklin and shit. I used to be excited, like, oh, I can't wait to, you know, meet these motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Then somebody will whisper in your ear, yeah, man, he a fag. You know what I'm saying? Like, this nigga's gay. And then you would see the nigga demeanor, and you used to be like, what? You know, the nigga cross his legs, get to talking with a lisp. You know what I'm saying? And you like, what the fuck? Like, he don't do that shit, you know, on stage. You know what I'm saying? Straight up, man. Some faggot shit going on, man. I'm trying to tell you. I mean, so, they, you know, the ones that was doing it didn't never say nothing to me because they was fucking doing it. But the ones that wasn't doing it, yes, they would say something like, you know, that's just what they'll, you know, what they'll say. I mean, I was in the Fred Hammond clique, you know, so, you know, his people would talk amongst each other, and then we'd be backstage with the other people, then you would hear some shit about them, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, what the fuck is going on? It's like a circus, my nigga. This ain't church, my nigga. This is a circus. Ain't nobody praying, ain't nobody talking about Jesus. You feel what I'm saying? Everybody talking about money and some bullshit. I might as well be a rapper up there. You know, I might as well be backstage with Jeezy, you know? Gucci Mane, you know what I'm saying? You know, you talking about who they fucking and shit. Who fucking who? You know? Just some bullshit. I mean, motherfuckers know what I'm talking about. So, they could pretend, oh, by the way, they never cussed. Like, no one used swear words. God forbid, you know, we can't use swear words, but they be talking about everything else and doing everything else. Nobody smoked weed, nobody drunk, so it was a very clean environment.
Motherfuckers wanna see me set back, hitting niggas with these hot tracks. I will never let these fools stop me, or be just another copy, you know. Sell out just so I can sell out in stores, or driving fast cars to fuck whores, or commercialize just to do tours. I slap you like a bitch in open doors. Fuck with me, you getting broken drawers. Went to church to try to make it work, didn't shit change, only got worse. Cause there's more hypocrites in the church. Your pastor's sermon was rehearsed, and when I die, it's back to dirt. I follow righteous steps.